Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Ben Smith, along here with Andrew Connolly, bringing to you another edition of the Ben and Andy Show.
We'd like to begin today by thanking Mr. John Roser for allowing us this studio space. And for news, let's get into it.
Let's hop right in. We don't have any real main big top story, I guess. You want us to do a little other things that are pretty important. It's the Christmas season, as everybody knows. Can we say Christmas, or does it have to be holiday? Christmas. This show, it's Christmas. I'm sorry. First of all, we'd like to start out talking about maybe the recount.
Yeah, I was about to say recount.
Election recount. So if you do not know, Jill Stein has actually created an organized effort for a recount in a few key states. I think it's Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
Mostly the swing states. And I talked a little bit about this in my government class this week, and the main reason that we came to a conclusion was because those are traditionally blue states that actually flipped to red. You did write that down. Good job. Do you think she's being coerced by the Clinton campaign to sort of ask for this recount? That is a good point. They could, honestly, I've heard that the Clinton camp have been staying out of it.
Yeah.
But now they actually recently, I believe, just started
I feel like they more sheepishly are getting involved, because you remember when President-elect Trump talked about how he wouldn't necessarily accept the results of the election, and
only if he won.
A lot of the Clinton campaign and the supporters of the Clinton campaign were actually very vocal about that.
Yeah.
So it's almost hypocritical of them to not accept the results and almost call for the recount of the election.
They're saying it's rigged. When Donald Trump said it was rigged, they thought it's never going to be rigged.
Catch-22 for them.
Yeah.
I think.
Is that what it means, catch-22?
Catch-22 is when two stuck between a rock and a hard place. Miss Hall taught me that. Shout out Miss Hall, our advisor, our teacher.
Did you say shut up, Miss Hall?
Shout out Miss Hall.
Oh, okay.
No.
Miss
Hall's the greatest human being on earth.
All right.
Next, we got the Dakota Access Pipeline.
And that's a very
down there on Standing Rock.
Very complicated issue.
People
have vocal issues.
Did a little bit of research here. Pro, cons. Do you want to do the pro list? Or you want to do the con list here? We can go. We can alternate.
I'll do one of our rock, paper, scissors for it. Or?
All right. What do you want?
What do you want? Or whoever's going to do pros.
Pros wins.
Okay.
Just one shot.
Okay.
Just get your hand. Come on. Be simple with this. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right.
I get pros. So you get cons.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
The Dakota Access Pipeline is a pipeline that stretches from, I believe, Canada through North Dakota. And it's bringing oil to the refineries in the country.
Down here in America.
It's supposed to bring down the cost of a lot of gas.
Bang.
I believe.
Cons. Go.
So the Dakota Access Pipeline threatens the water supply of Standing Rock's Sioux?
The Sioux tribe.
All right. So the Dakota Access Pipeline threatens the water supply of the Standing Rock Sioux and the millions of people downstream, and here's why. The Dakota Access Pipeline was originally stated to cross under the Missouri River north of Bismarck, the state's capital. However, the DAPL was rerouted south of the city, about a half-mile upstream from the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, and due to the concerns that a pipeline break could poison the city's water source. A pipeline spill would imperil the drinking water of not just Standing Rock, but also millions of people downstream.
Wow, that's pretty tough. I'm going to come back because I got the pros list, which is
there's more.
Switch off. So the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline will help the economy and create thousands of jobs. Building the pipeline is expected to create 8,000 to 12,000 new jobs and pump money into the industries that manufacture steel pipes and related materials. A Georgetown professor actually estimated that the construction will add $129 million in annual tax revenue to local and state economies during the construction. Once the pipeline is operational, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Illinois may earn up to $50 million annually in property taxes and $74 million in sales tax. This increased revenue would improve schools, roads, emergency services in those states and in those areas.
The Dakota Access Pipeline is being built on sacred land guaranteed to the Sioux by the treaty. Under the 1851 Treaty of Fort Laramie, the land that the pipeline is being built on is unceded and sovereign territory of the Sioux Nation. As such, the Standing Rock Sioux have been consulted before the pipeline was approved. Construction of the pipeline has already damaged sacred burial sites and other cultural significant areas.
It's not good. We've done a lot to Native Americans over the course of our history as the United States, and I don't think we should keep keep hammering them with this kind of business. It's not right. They were here first.
Ryan, you got
All
some more
right,
pros?
the next pro. The construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline will help the United States become more energy independent. So, there are 2.5 million miles of oil and gas pipelines currently running through the United States. This is reducing the imports from areas like the Middle East, countries like Russia, and any other places the United States imports their oil from. Reducing these imports will lower their dependence, or our dependence as Americans and the U.S. government, on foreign energy, which in turn bolsters our national security and creates leverage for us to push human rights improvements on oil-producing nations.
The Dakota Access Pipeline will worsen climate change by pumping hundreds of thousands of gallons of shale oil to market daily. If completed, the pipeline would carry 470,000 to 570,000 barrels of Bakken shale oil to market.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oil.
The extracted oil, once processed, transported, and burned, would release 101.4 million metric tons of CO2 each year. And this is the equivalent of the emissions from 29.5 coal plants, or 21.4 million cars per year.
It's a lot of CO2 emissions, actually. Actually, on the environment standpoint here, I got my last pro
okay.
here, is the Dakota Access Pipeline will actually make transporting oil from North Dakota to all major refining markets a lot safer. I mean, if you look at statistics, pipeline result in fewer spillage incidents, like we see maybe in the Gulf of Mexico that one time, or personal injuries than you see with like railroad transport or even like transporting on trucks. That was Ben and Andy do the Dakota Access Pipeline.
You know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
Twitter survey.
Twitter survey.
You think they should have it, or should they not have it?
Good idea. Now that you know the facts and the pros and cons about the Dakota Access Pipeline,
As soon as this video up, so will a Twitter survey, and you'll be able to vote
we will be able to vote, and we will have the results of that vote
on the next Ben and Andy show.
next week's show. So, our next topic of discussion, we have the new middle school. I know a lot of the students that are watching this drive by that middle school every day. It's affected traffic. It's affected tons of stuff. It's made my life
Hell.
hell. You can't say that on TV, Andrew.
You can bleep it.
We'll bleep that out. We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out. Anyways, I'm here talking to Nathan Moore, and we're not talking specifics about the new middle school. We are specifically talking name the new middle school. What do we got, Nate?
So currently, what the Scituate School Committee and their specific subsection for the naming of the middle school is looking at are the names Scituate Middle School and Gates Middle School.
Very creative.
The
Very
Gates Middle
creative.
School, of course, comes from Lester Gates, who was one of the pioneers in education in Scituate, and then Scituate Middle School because it's a fairly standard name.
That's what we would expect.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that many people may be surprised to hear is they're not opening the naming out to the public.
But we pay taxes on that. don't we? Well, I don't pay taxes,
there are
but
taxes.
My
but,
dad pays taxes. My mom pays taxes.
Online surveys have been notoriously underperforming in the past, where they can be skewed fairly easily, and so the hope with not having like an online survey is that the name stays neutral and doesn't offend anybody.
That's important. I feel like, though, maybe, I mean, people watch this show now, I guess, and people come up to me and tell me that, oh, I see you on Scituate Access TV and on YouTube. Maybe this will get out to the people who are on the school committee. Maybe we can have like a town hall meeting or something. It could be a topic. Like, what do you want the new middle school to be?
on the show.
Ooh, maybe. Good idea. I don't know. We
Yeah.
should definitely do that. But maybe at a town hall meeting or something, they could
Yeah.
have people come up. I
And,
mean, I feel like online surveys is an aspect of anonymousness. Probably not the right word. Not a word. But where people feel like they can say those offensive things and they can kind of skew the results of it, whereas in
Yeah.
person it'd be
And
a lot different.
the two options with the continuing the name Gates Middle School,
Andrew,
we'll
get
keep
out
a,
of the shot.
we'll keep a legacy on the name, but
The
then
Gates,
switching it
yeah.
to Scituate Middle School makes it a lot more known for someone who's out of the town.
Yeah.
Where if you say Gates Middle School, someone outside the town doesn't immediately know where the town is, but saying just Scituate Middle School. You know,
Something I noticed a lot when we had Gates was for athletic reasons. It'd say like on schedule, like, oh, you're playing at Gates. And people, if you were from Pembroke or from Norwell or whatever, you wouldn't know what Gates is. Like, what's Gates? So,
and
something food for thought.
those are the two options for the naming right now, and I'll be back maybe in a few weeks with furthermore on it, and we should find out about the name fairly soon.
All right, thank you very much, Nathan.
Today we have a new addition to the Ben and Andy show, our own weatherman, meteorologist, Matt Fishman.
Great guy. Kick the fish.
Thank you, Ben and Andy, and here's the weather. This is not a good week for those who love the sun. This is a good week for those who love the cold, as we've had above normal temperatures the past week in the 50s. This week we have Monday at about 40 degrees with about a 10% chance of rain, and the day will be about partly cloudy, more cloudy in the morning and more sunny in the afternoon. On Tuesday, we will have a copy of Monday. It'll be cloudy in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, with 40 degrees again. On Wednesday, there will be a bit of a difference. It'll be a bit warmer with about 43 degrees, and there's a 30% chance of rain, and it'll be cloudy otherwise. On Thursday, we have the warmest day of the week, going up to about 45 degrees, a few degrees above normal, and it will still be a cloudy day. On Friday, it will go back down to about 40 degrees. Today, we have the highest chance of precipitation. At 40 degrees, we could have a little bit of a rain and snow mix. And there's your weather for the week.
Looks good, looks great. Keep up the good work, Fish. He'll be on the show as a regular, not regular weather meeting.
We sure hope so.
I would hope. We'd love to have him. So next, we're going to talk to you guys about winter sports here in Scituate, Massachusetts. Scituate High boasts a large amount of winter sports, actually. Boys and girls basketball, boys and girls swim, wrestling, cheerleading, and boys and girls hockey.
Ski team?
Ski team. I always forget about ski team.
Yeah.
Their ski team is a
Everybody
thing.
forgets
Yes.
about ski team.
That's mean. The ski team. We apologize. I apologize for Andrew on behalf of Andrew to the ski team. Ski team is very important, Andrew. I don't know why you say that.
Well, no, it's an important thing. It's just a lot of people seem to forget it. It's unfortunate. I didn't forget it. I'm the one who brought it up.
You did bring it up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about you. I forgot it. I apologize for forgetting the ski team. Last year, actually, I think the winter sports had a very, very good performance. The boys hockey team, which, as many of you know, I am a part of. The boys are buzzing. They are back. We are back this weekend, and we went to the South Finals last year. We're looking to make a deep run again this year. Anything else?
I don't know about sports.
I don't know. He doesn't know anything about sports. We forgot track. We forgot, Andrew, you forgot to mention track.
No, I didn't forget.
It's your fault. Your fault, not mine. I don't have anything written down. You have everything written down. This is a blank sheet of paper, guys. Winter track, of course. We always forget about winter track. Boys and girls winter track. Sneaky one of the best teams, I think, probably in the school. They perform very well. You good? I'm good. I'm Ben. That's Andrew. And as always, thanks for hitting play, everybody. Actually have an update on this developing story. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will not allow the continuation of this pipeline to be built through Standing Rock, North Dakota, and they will explore alternate routes. This could either halt the construction forever or will push it back months or even years.